The Louisiana Marathon was a blast. I didn't finish it, but my friends did, and I lost my driver's license. Almost got stuck in Louisiana. But more on that in a bit. We're in Rhode Island, so I hopped on a plane with two friends, Brian and Mac. Brian was there for a big reason. This was his 50th state marathon. We came to support him. Click subscribe below to follow this channel and catch Brian's lifetime running story. That's what I'm working on right now. But back to the Louisiana Marathon. We stayed in the Hampton Inn and Suites, just 5-minute walk from the starting line. If you're ever in the Louisiana Marathon in Baton Rouge, this is the spot to stay. And yes, they did have a continental breakfast from 6 to 10. It was a Friday night around 11 p.m. We were starving. Everything was closed, so we ordered burgers from a place called Smash City. Never heard of it, but the burgers were good. The race was on Sunday. Saturday, we hit the race expo to grab our bib. Small, but pretty cool. We got our merch, a drawstring bag, a t-shirt, and a powdered Tylenol. I didn't know why they handed that out, but I definitely found out after the race. We walked around, took some photos, then headed back to the hotel. We had a bus to catch to New Orleans. Not sure how locals say New Orleans. New Orleans? Either way, you can't go to Louisiana without going to New Orleans, especially when it's just over an hour away. Once we got there, we took the trolley to Bourbon Street in French Quarters. It was January, but it was already felt like Mardi Gras had started. Young people drinking, partying, bands playing on the street. It looked fun. It was a lot. I'd never had an alligator before, so we stopped at a Cajun spot. We had alligator bites, boudin sausage with rice and pork. Classic Louisiana dishes. We walked a lot, probably not the smartest idea before a marathon, but when in Rome, after about 20,000 steps in New Orleans, we headed back to Baton Rouge and prepped for the race day. Sunday morning was cold, about 35 degrees at the start with a high near 40, almost 20 degrees drop from the day before. I wore brand new shoes. I mean, a new brand I'd never run before. The race morning energy was high, customers everywhere. Someone even dressed like a burrito. The start was strong, Brian looked great, Mac did too. The course was scenic, winding through different Baton Rouge neighborhoods. We ran through LSU around mile 5 and I still felt pretty good, but around mile 10, my feet started to hurt. By halfway, the pain on the bottom of my right foot was impossible to ignore. I slowed down. At mile 14, I was limping. I came to support Brian and I wanted to see him finish. So at mile 16, I ducked onto a side street and ordered a lift. I had to put my driver's license in my pocket because Brian said we might get carded for the post-race beers. The driver couldn't reach the hotel because the course blocked the street, so he dropped me off about 3 blocks away from the hotel. I checked my pockets, my license was still there. I leaned against a tree, adjusted my shoe and checked my watch. About an hour until Brian finished. I figured I'd shower and change first, but 1 block from the hotel, I checked my pockets again and realized that my driver's license was gone. Panic set in. That license was my ticket to Rhode Island. I mean, I love Louisiana, but I didn't want to stay. I retraced my steps and I found nothing. I told myself the police probably had it. Why would anyone keep it? I didn't have time to wait. I rushed to the hotel, showered fast, changed, and hobbled back out, just in time to watch Brian cross the finish line. Afterwards, I talked to the cops. They had no idea. They told me to talk to the announcer. The announcer made an announcement over the speakers. That's when I knew I wasn't getting my license back. I didn't let that ruin my day. I figured there had to be a way to fly out without IDs in emergencies like these. And for the record, no one asked for my ID when I got my post-race beer. We stayed in Baton Rouge the rest of the day. For my final meal, I had a beignet, a puffy fried dough buried in powdered sugar with an Irish coffee. Still no one asked me for my ID. I guess I'm officially at the age where asking for ID doesn't happen anymore. So I guess that's a plus. We watched the sunset, packed up and went to bed early. Our lift was scheduled for 4 a.m. Our flight was 7 and I wanted time to figure things out. At the airport, TSA was surprisingly nice. They said, it's not an issue. They pulled me aside, had me write my name and address typed into their system and pulled up my passport photo. Compared it to me, 10 minutes later, I was cleared. And just like that, I was heading back to Rhode Island. That was my trip to Louisiana Marathon, which was sort of a success, I think.